This is Bob. Bob is a snail. Bob's emotions are quite acidic, just as his environment. Bob is very lonely. Everybody Bob knows has died in a very brutal way. They dissolved in front of Bob's eyes. Bob still thinks about his friends at night. Good times. He longs back. By the way, Bob's home is also slowly fading. How long is he able to live? Back then, in the 19th century, everything was better for Bob and his friends. Let's take a look.
"250 years ago, Bob lived in a flourishing marine environment. The pH was just above 8. The atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration was 260 parts per million. Calcium carbonate was having a good time with 2 hydrogen ions. And carbon dioxide, water and calcium were reacting full of passion. This resulted in a jubilant and peaceful bunch of carbon dioxide, water, carbonate ions and bicarbonate ions, which were all living happily in some nice equilibria. Bob loved it. His friends were building beautiful homes and all of the abundant carbonate ions. Corals, mollusks and other marine calcifiers were flourishing. His home has never looked so good and tightly. The huge villa on his back was in full equilibrium with the environment and he was proud of that. Unfortunately, this was about to change in the near future. In the 20th century, carbon dioxide concentrations still increased. This increased carbon dioxide reacts with water in the oceans. The product that is formed is called carbonic acid. This carbonic acid falls apart in bicarbonate and a hydrogen ion. This hydrogen ion reacts with carbonate to form more bicarbonate. These carbonate ions are normally used to build corals, mollusks and other marine calcifiers. Due to the higher carbon dioxide concentration, more carbon dioxide is dissolved in the water. The carbon dioxide concentration has increased over the last centuries. Also humans contribute to this increase. The products we consume are made all over the world. To get these products to us, planes, boats and trucks are used. This whole process emits large quantities of carbon dioxide. With an increased world population, the demand is also ever increasing. Bob does not contribute to all of these processes. Bob gets his food from local suppliers. Bob loves eating leftovers. Bob is satisfied with traveling by foot. Bob is carbon neutral. Be like Bob. However, Bob is not a role model. Thus, higher carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere lead to processes of carbonate ions reacting with water more often. Higher concentrations of carbon dioxide will thus lead to lower concentrations of carbonate ions. Lower concentration of carbonate thus directly result in lower abundances of corals, mollusks and other marine calcifiers. For Bob, it is also harder to maintain his shell. His shell is dissolving. His home will be lost.
In the 21st century, the carbon dioxide concentration rose to new levels. It is expected that at the end of this century, the carbon dioxide levels will rise over 800 parts per million. This will lead to a decrease of 60% in the carbonate ion concentration. The ocean pH will drop 0.4 units, and in the last 20 million years, these conditions have not occurred on Earth. Those conditions are reality for Bob in the 22nd century. However, it is not too late to help Bob. If we reduce our emissions drastically, there is hope for Bob and his friends. If we act too late, Bob will be alone in the next century. We can't let this happen to Bob. Bob wants to have friends and maybe even a nice partner to have kids with. Don't let Bob become an escargot ghost.